Hey, Girl Scout parents, it's Michelle here, and I just wanted to go over some things I talked about at the parent meeting on September 30th. So let's get started. All right, first off, thank you guys for joining Girl Scouts and staying with us this year. I'm very excited about it. I just wanted to take you down memory lane for a moment and look back at some of our earliest Girl Scout adventures, such as picking up trash on our campus. Back here in the early days of our troop, spending the night at the Newport Beach Girl Scout house. I don't know if you guys remember this night when Serena opened her house to all the Girl Scouts and they did a movie pizza night at her place. It was awesome. I was thinking back to their first bridging and all their little sweet faces when they were so young. How we got to make pottery with Miss Freeman. And how Nina organized for us to go do these beautiful succulents over at Jenny B. Floral. I'm sure many of you guys still have your succulents as well. I just killed mine this past week, so that was sad, but I'll make Reagan plant some new ones for me. Then we got to go hiking with the girls and make trail mix and even donate a bunch of blankets to charity. I know only half of our girls got to go horseback riding last year, and that was really a bummer. But for those girls that got to go, it was really awesome. And when the country trails opens up again, I'd love to see the girls that didn't make it get a chance to go, as it was a really fun experience. I just want to thank you guys for the work you did with your kids during the quarantine at the end of last year when we couldn't meet as a troop. I know it was really, really tough, but these little smiling faces really made my day for sure. And hopefully they learned some skills, they learned some knots, wrote some thank you cards, and did some activities at home to help with their own leadership skills and all those things. So I want to welcome you guys. We have 13 girls in our troop now. We are down from 16. Let's see, Sophia, Dakota, and Isla are not going to be returning, and there might be one more girl as well. So this year the leaders are going to be myself and Brandy, but anyone else that wants to help is wide open. There is a very easy application process. I pretty much could get you in. Don't you worry. If you want to help, we want your help. I wanted to go over finances, so I worked with Cheryl and Aaron, and we gave each girl an individual balance based on how many cookies they sold last year and whether or not they were able to go to the horseback riding event. So you should see that in your email. We also have a little bit of money, not a lot, in our group account, a couple $100s in there, and that money will be used for small activities, supplies for meetings, and just kind of little things of that nature. My hope is that the individual account balances will be used for some kind of future event, trips, and then also the first thing we have coming up are uniforms. So I'd like to use that money to pay for the uniforms so that we as parents don't have to come out of pocket at all right now for Girl Scouts. We're going to meet Fridays from 4 to 5:30. The first and third Fridays of the month are the days I'd like you to hold aside for now for the Scouts. So our first meeting will be Friday, October 2nd, which actually is today, the day I'm recording this. And we'll just do our meeting via Zoom. It will be really short. I just want to touch base with the girls and say hi and get them excited about our first event. So October 16th, that's the third Friday of this month, we'll be in person. We'll do it at my house, in my front yard. And I'm asking that girls bring like a lawn chair that they can sit in, and that will help with our social distancing, and then they'll bring their mask. All right. So I'd like to plan our first kind of big event. And I was thinking, fall's here. It's such an exciting time. You guys remember these great memories when the kids did their fall artwork here. Anyhow, this is my proposal for our first event, Saturday, October 24th, from 9 to 10 in the morning. I'd like to do a trunk or treat bridging event. You'd arrive at 8:45, bring your own coffee. The location would be the upper parking lot of the Fullerton Courthouse. And if you've ever done a trunk or treat, basically people put their cars kind of in either like a big circle or kind of make like a little aisleway in between, and you have your trunks facing the center. And you open up your trunk, you decorate it. You can consider having a game at your car. Siblings can and should participate, and kids are encouraged to come in their costume. So the idea is that kids would start at their own car, and then we would just rotate. And when the person before you or person kind of next in line is done, you'll just move from car to car clockwise or counterclockwise. and rotate through the cars, play the little game if there is one, and get your candy. And so they would go around, and I think they would really enjoy this, put some music out and all that. Before we do the trunk or treat, I'd like to do a quick bridging where the girls cross over a bridge. I have a Boy Scout bridge that I'll bring and I'll put in our kind of enclosed area. And I'll ask the girls to get on the microphone and share one of their favorite memories as brownies. And then they will bridge and get their new uniform. And then we'll do the trunk or treat event that follows. So this is an example of trunk or treat. You know, the kids decorate the back of their car. And I really want this to be girl-led. So I want your daughter to do the work, right? This shouldn't just be like a parent, a parent job. But I want the kids to think, how can they decorate the back of the car? What could they do that would be fun? It makes it a little more exciting if you have some kind of game. Now this is like a little bit fancy, but you could just have like a laundry basket and some bean bags, and they have to, make the bean bag in, and then they get their treat. Or you could have something like name 3 Halloween movies. You could have like a trivia question for them to answer, and then once they get it correct, they can go to the next car. The idea, though, is kids would stay together with their family. So if they have siblings, they would kind of move from car to car in their siblings, so that we are maintaining social distancing during all this as well. Okay, I want to talk about badges really quickly. The girls are going to pick out their first set of badges at our October 16th meeting. I'm going to show them all the different badges they can earn during the year, and I'm going to have them get into small committees, and they're going to pick the badge that most interests them, and they are going to lead and organize it at a future meeting. So I'm no longer going to be in charge of planning the meetings, but they are going to be in charge. Of course, I'm here as a consultant, and so are you parents as well. Your kids can ask you questions and troubleshoot with you, but on the day of the meeting, they're in charge. So I think it'll be really exciting to see them, up their leadership skills. And I think they're going to have a lot of creativity and a lot of fun with this. So I really look forward to October 16th. And again, that day will be at my house. Kids will bring their lawn chairs, and we'll meet in a big circle. And then they'll meet into their smaller committees, probably groups of 3. I'd like to make sure we do some community service this year. There you go. I'd like to make sure we do some community service. I'm going to ask the girls if they have any ideas, and we can get one of our committees to be working on community service. Okay, I know the kids want to get out and about. They've been stuck indoors and quarantined and all that, and we're obviously still in the middle of a pandemic. We still need to be safe. We still need to be smart. But I listed a bunch of activities that hopefully we can get to this year, and I'd like to ask the girls what they think about these. So hiking is great because we can be outdoors and we can distance, and we can wear our masks and be safe. There's an archery range in Fullerton. I'm not sure if they're open for kids right now, but I was going to look into that. Maybe in small groups our kids could go and do this if you're comfortable. A beach cleanup or a bonfire is the one idea that I have. Maybe a family camping trip. So according to Girl Scout rules, if I were to take the girls camping, they're not allowed to sleep in tents with adults, according to the Girl Scout rules, and they have to be camping in a tent with other girls. Now, obviously, because we're in the middle of a pandemic, that is not something that we would want right now. So I wanted to propose maybe a family camping trip of some sort, or a mom and me camping trip where the kids stay with their parent in the tent, and that way we don't have kids sleeping in the same tent as each other and spreading those kinds of germs and things like that, and be really mindful with how we do food. So if you're interested in a family camping weekend or a mom and me camping weekend, I think that would be something we could do sooner rather than later, and it would be kind of off the books, because to go through and do it properly according to the Girl Scouts, again, is a whole other set of rules. So if we went as a mom and me, it'd be off the Girl Scout record. Okay, I'd like to organize a Girl Scout bike ride, or I guess I'll ask the girls on the 16th if that even sounds interesting to them, or if they are all over bike riding, because it's probably how they spent a lot of their quarantine time. But I thought it'd be fun if we went to a park and just rode around and did something like that. That's easy, outside, free, and all that. All right, the next 3 things are all weekend camps, which are obviously not happening right now, but they are something I'd like to see us do while we're juniors. Maybe not all 3, but at least 1 for sure. So there's, of course, Camp Sherman weekend. There's a Mom and Me weekend, or Brandy and I could just take the kids to Sherman for the weekend once it's open if we don't want to do a Mom and Me weekend. But that's up for discussion. Camp Emerald Bay is a camping spot that I'd love to try out. It's a Boy Scout camp on Catalina Island. They have a great program for the kids. I mean, all these things have great kind of camp-like experiences with archery and art and hiking and things like that, campfires and such. So Camp Serve is a San Diego camp. It's a YMCA camp. And again, all these things that are in purple on the screen hyperlink in your agenda that I sent via email. The last thing I wanted to talk about is Junior Jam. Junior Jam is a 2-night camp out in April. It's usually held at a park in Long Beach. And the girls compete with different skills. They have to learn knots, and they have to learn how to read a compass and how to start a fire and how to put up a tent and how do you know, all sorts of different skills. And then they go and they're tested on these skills. And it's a really, really fun weekend. It was canceled last year, obviously because of the coronavirus, and I don't know if it will happen this year. I'm sure it depends on where we are with the vaccine and all that. But my hope is that if we don't go this first year as juniors, that we can go the following year. So I want to thank you guys for watching this quick presentation. We look forward to parent input and help this year. So let us know how we can serve your kids and help them develop their leadership skills. Really looking forward to our first few events. And today at 4 o'clock, I plan to talk to the girls about our first meeting and also the bridging / trunk or treat event. So thanks, you guys. And if you have questions, email me, and I look forward to seeing your kids today.